Whiz. It's the Giz Fiz. And now your host, mathematics writer and the Giz Whiz, Dick DeBartolo.
Chat room, hello, how are you? Welcome to GizFiz PM. Oh, you know what? I have to close that laptop behind me. Okay. Actually, that was when I closed it all the way because the chat room is on that.
Sorry, Dick, what show?
GizFiz PM. Yes, sir. And we have a special guest tonight. And that guest is, you tell me when Ian might be ready.
Yeah,
Alex.
just give me 2 minutes here.
Yeah, okay. So what we'll do two questions from George Davis while we get Ian set up. I know Ian's going to be very nervous being on Giz Fiz after being let down by screensavers. Okay, so match game. Oh, George Davis did match game again. Keith says, let's talk about apple pie and custard. Is that a thing? Apple pie and custard? Okay, let's see. Bill Jensen. This is the first match game question from George Davis. Bill Jensen, watch repairman for over 50 years, is retiring because of blank. Bill Jensen, watch repairman for over 50 years, is retiring because of blank. All right, I've got an answer. Oh, that's very funny. User 0678. That's very funny. That's great, Nancy. These questions are too complicated. Oh, Momsworth. These are excellent answers. Here's a bad ticker. These are excellent. I just matched someone in the chat room. Okay, we'll let one more time, and then I'll see if Alex has an answer. Oh, is Kara in today? We don't know if Kara's here. Bill Jensen, watch repairman for over 50 years, is retiring because of blank. Time was not on his side. It's very good. Alex, are you playing?
Oh, no, sorry. I was setting Ian up.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, so chat room. Alex not playing. My answer was, let me read the question again. Bill Jensen, watch repairman for over 50 years, is retiring because I wrote his spring wore out. Let's see what his ticker is going bad is excellent. He ran down. We would match that, Tate. You and I matched. He only has little hands. We got this several times. It's very funny. Matron 3000 was one of them. He took a licking, but he didn't keep on ticking. He refused to tick. He got tired of watching. Okay. Let's do another. You tell me when we're ready with Ian.
We're all set here.
We're all set. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Chat Room Celebrity of the Week.
I've got to say, celebrity might be pushing it a bit, but I'll do my best.
No, listen, the fact that we call this a show is pushing it a bit. So you have no fears. How are you, Ian?
Pretty good. Just
good.
Recovering.
It was good to see you on the show again. I watched Screensavers, mainly sitting here going, will they speed it up because they're holding the GizWiz up? So GizFiz is just a silly show. It started out with my talking to the chat room, and then it turned out into, for some reason, a show. And we started adding chat room celebrity of the week so we could kind of learn what different people in the chat room did for a living. And now we've found it very valuable to just snag the co-host of Screensavers, so that we don't even have to say who wants to be chat room celebrity of the week. We sort of just say you.
You're press ganged into it, and then you know. Oh, no, excellent.
So, hey, I have some questions for you. So, do you fly in for the show? Are you local or?
No, I'm actually local. I live down in Richmond, down in the East Bay. So it's like a 40-minute drive to come up here. And I came out here in 2008 on what was supposed to be a one-year contract. And I've now green carded and married and all kinds of things. So I think I'm going to be here for the duration. It's a fascinating place. Lots of interesting tech, interesting people, beautiful countryside. One thing, very bad pizza for some strange reason, but you can't have everything.
Wow, yeah.
And this is a Brit saying that.
I know. Well, I live in New York City, so getting good pizza here is not a problem.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, and I moved once in my life, and that was across the Brooklyn Bridge. So I was born in Brooklyn and have lived in Manhattan the rest of my life. The rest of my life up to now.
Well, yes, but I mean, you're a professional New Yorker then,
Oh, absolutely. When Leo and Lisa came out the first time, Lisa and I said, Lisa, we can cross. The light is just yellow. And so we ran across the street, and she said, we almost got hit by a car. And I said, Lisa, almost is nothing. These traffic lights are a suggestion of what to do. So anyway.
Well, we had the same problem with our local guy down here when he came over to the London office, because we don't have any such thing as a pedestrian right-of-way law in the UK. So he blithely stepped off the pavement and then nearly got run down by a taxi driver, because, if you step in front of a taxi driver, they're just going to speed up and turn their windscreen wipers on. Like, bad call, mate.
Yeah, it's just... yeah. I'll show you. You're obviously not from here.
Yeah, but yes, it's, as I say, an interesting place.
Yeah. So tell us, what are the other parts of your career? I'm sorry that I don't know all this ahead of time.
No. It's I started as a tech journalist in 1992, which is kind of depressing when I think about it, but it's still a fun ride. It started doing basically was hired because I was the only person in the office who knew how to use a computer, and went on to PC Advisor, which is the UK equivalent to PC World, then on to PC Magazine, and then that shut down in the UK in 2003, and I went online, and I've been online ever since, first for VNUnet, and then for V3, and then latterly for the Register, which been there for the last 4 years.
How did you hook up with Leo?
Basically, I met someone at a party down in San Francisco, and then got an email in just saying, would you be interested in coming up and being a guest on the show? And I had the weekend free, and it was just, okay, talking about tech for a weekend. Yeah, that sounds like fun to me. I just got hooked on it. You've got a really good atmosphere here, lots of smart people, and all in all, very fun.
Oh yeah, good. No, I love the whole way Twit runs. Is for 8 years, Leo and I did a show, and we talked about it 5 minutes before we did the first show. And I've worked on some game shows and some stuff with networks. You would start out a year before you did a show, and you would talk for 5,000 hours about what the show was going to be like.
Right.
And then I came out to Petaluma, to the Brick House, the first time at the Brick House, and Lisa said to I forgot who was producing it back then. Well, what are you using for the sets for the new show? And he said, I haven't really thought about that yet. And Lisa looked at the watch and she said, well, you still have an hour. So within the hour to doing the first show from the Brick House, they came up with the set. and we did the show. It's sort of great fun because there's not a lot of, should the chair be over there? Should we have two chairs?
Yeah, I know. You can overthink these things so easily.
Yes.
And it just it destroys the spontaneity of the thing. I mean, you've got a lot of little sets packed in here, and of course the master control chair in the centre, which rotates very impressively. But know
that actually the chair is the only thing that works there. The rest of that is all just fake knobs and dials and stuff. There is a 300 baud modem under there where all this stuff goes out. But
we outsource it.
That's right. That's what they do. So Ian, your lifelong dream. 5 years from now, we're going to find you doing what?
Exactly what I'm doing at the moment. If I'm lucky,
standing right there saying,
I was thinking,
the brick house closed 4.5 years ago. Why am I still standing here?
I gotta say, I'm still astonished that as a tech journalist that they pay me to do this job, because it's just every day you learn something new, you meet really interesting people, you get to ask them pushy and rude questions, and they feel they have to answer you, which is just, for me, it's just perfect, you know.
Oh, that's good. Well, then, chat room, let's come up with some pushy and rude questions. So Ian, can you see the chat room?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so what we do is I talk to you for like 2 or 3 minutes, which we've just done, and then we ask the chat room to talk to you for a couple of minutes, and then you can feel free to go home and relax.
Okay.
So chat room, some questions for Ian.
Oh, good grief. Well, I've just seen, what do I have in my pockets right now? And I emptied them just before coming on stage. The only thing I've got is a house key tucked into the back and my wallet, which is never around. Ooh.
Oh, I see one from Bill that I would like to ask. What is pizza like in the UK if it's so bad here?
It's not pizza. It's just not. I mean, it's this spongy, thick-crusted abomination of a thing that's usually burnt on top or slightly cold in the middle. The first time I went to New York and had an actual slice of New York pizza, I just turned to my girlfriend and said, "That's what it's supposed to taste like." It was a taste explosion.
Oh, okay. So it's bad in the UK also?
It's pretty bad. There are a few sort of bespoke, nice places, but by and large, it's pretty lousy. Yeah, we don't really do haggis. Pizza. I'm sorry, I've just seen X2 on here. Haggis, definitely.
Haggis pizza. There you go.
Oh, I'm sure someone's done it. But
yes, I know.
If you can go over to the UK and have haggis over there, definitely do it. If you have haggis over here, don't bother, because you can't import sheep's lungs into the US, which is an essential part of haggis. So. Just to explain, haggis is what's left over of the sheep when some English bugger has stolen the rest of it. So you chop up the lungs and the heart, and you stuff them into the stomach with some grains and spices, and then you sort of boil the whole thing in the stomach tied up. And done right, it's delicious. Then again, I'm half Scots, so what can I do?
Very dubious about that.
That and a nice whiskey, it's a good way to go.
Becky would like to know, how did you meet your wife?
Online dating, of all things.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh no, I mean, I've met, certainly the last 15 years of dating have largely been meeting people online. I'm not a big go to a bar and try and pull person. It's just not really something I feel comfortable doing. So yeah, online. And actually I met her through bad interface design. Because on the website...
Is that the name of the website?
That would be a really interesting dating website, wouldn't it? But
welcome to Bad Interface Dating.
But yeah, I was looking through the profile and it's like, oh, she looks quite cute. So they said, if you want to know more about her views on this, click here. And it's just like, oh, okay. Click there and said, we've sent a message to so-and-so. I said, no, I wasn't that interested. And then we met up and then 4 years later I ended up getting married. So it's... I'm a big fan of online dating. I think it's an excellent system.
Are you going to have kids online or?
No kids.
No kids.
We have cats, and anybody who broadcasts a birth online should be taken around the back of the shed and shot, because no woman wants to see herself in that position, and nobody else wants to see what's going on. A mate of mine just had a kid, and he was telling me about he actually sort of went down there and sort of saw the birth, and I later found out he'd stolen the line, but he came back and sort of said, how was it? And he goes, it's like watching your favourite pub burn down. But yeah, apparently that line was somebody else's, but too good not to use.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Let's go back to the chat room. How many cats do you have, by the way?
At the moment, just the one, but she doesn't play well with others, but we will be getting more when she goes off to the great mouse yard in the sky.
I heard you about being very brave and that it is very easy to take a keyboard off a laptop so you can get the cat hairs.
They are designed to be easy to remove.
Really?
Because, yeah, I mean, in most cases, I mean, certainly I've been using ThinkPads for the last 15 years, and there it's just a matter of undoing a couple of screws, you get a screwdriver in and lever the keyboard forward a bit, it clicks out, you can just lift it straight up and out. It's a wonderful system, and if you're just sort of spraying compressed air on the top, then you're going to be getting clumps of dirt on the inside. So if you can take the whole keyboard off, then it just makes it that much better.
Okay, so the thing of drop it on the left corner is not the best advice to get the keyboard
I think if you're having to drop, well, okay, I'd say dropping a computer is never a good idea, but then the Apple III, you had to drop it because when it heated up, the motherboard, the chips on the board started spraying out, and Apple seriously told customers, lift it 6 inches and drop it to reset the chips. And it worked in so many, I think it was the Apple III, I'm almost certain.
Oh my God, that is a riot.
It's
okay. I'm picking questions for you if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. I would just say Sam Smith's is a popular beer, but not a massively good beer. But anyway.
No. Because this question is interesting too. iPhone or Android?
Android. It's a matter of, for me personally, this isn't a statement for my company, but I'm not a big fan of Apple hardware and iOS as well. It's something about it doesn't sit right, and I don't like having that level of lockdown on my device. I like to be able to get in and fiddle around with things. Plus, it's the 80-20 thing. You know, I mean, about 80% of the apps are Android, and I like a lot of apps on my phone. So, yeah, Android all the way. Plus, I'm a big believer in open source.
Yeah, no, I am Android also, and people go, "What? You don't have an iPhone?" No, I don't have an iPhone. And also, I'm not crazy about iTunes. It just seems like...
Well, no, when the first iTunes came out, it was the dog's bollocks. It was brilliant. It was smooth. You could share music with each other. It was kind of like, it was a Napster-style moment in terms of having music on your computer. But since then, they've run it into the ground, and the last 5 builds have just been abysmal.
And every 6 seconds... they ask you for your password. It says, you looked away from the screen. Can you please put in your password again? Because we're not sure it's you who turned back. Yeah.
Then again, with Windows 10, they've got this thing now where it's just the camera will pick up your face and decide it's you. And I'm slightly iffy about that as well. I've seen far too many hackers getting around it just by putting high-quality photos up to the camera.
Oh, well, that's the good thing. There are no high-quality photos of me. So I do not have a high-quality face, so I have nothing to worry about. All right, so let's do 2 more questions so Ian can go back home to his family. Ian, you picked the last 2.
Oh, okay. Let's see. My goodness, they're scrolling through. A Linux user. I am a Linux user about half of the time. And as a distro, I use Ubuntu. It's fairly simple, fairly okay to handle, and relatively stable, and everybody understands how to use it. So yes, that's I'd say Linux is what you use for when you want to use it. I use Windows when I have to use it. So one of those things. And what was my first computer? Now, you call it something different over here. In the UK, it was the ZX81, and here I think it was the Timex. It was like a little square about that big, dirt cheap.
Oh, yes, it was the Timex. I think it was Sinclair Timex.
That would be it, yes. It was the Sinclair ZX81.
There it is.
UK.
There it is.
Yeah. And you couldn't do anything with it unless you had a little RAM pack which plugged into the back of it. And that keyboard was possibly the worst keyboard in the history of keyboards. It was just, no travel on the keys at all. You had to really press hard.
Yes, that was Atari had the Atari 400 used that same key thing. You had to stand on a key. to make it move.
It was a nightmare. But I mean, yeah, with that, also, Clive Sinclair, the guy who invented it, is a really weird bloke. Gifted, but weird. And he refused to put anything on there. You know, basically, he shipped it with a manual on how to code in BASIC, on the principle that everyone would want to learn to code in BASIC, so just do that. Don't give them any user instructions or anything like that. And it was responsible for for really getting an awful lot of people started on basic coding. But as a sales strategy,
and a lot of people committing suicide.
It was. I've got to say, there were times when I very nearly beat it to death with the manual. But you know, it was really useful. But the keyboard was just so poorly built that coding itself was just, and you know, you're like, oh, for goodness sake, and then all of a sudden a string of them comes down, and you're like, right, okay, back.
But wasn't it like $80 or something? It was so ridiculous.
It was ridiculously cheap.
Yeah,
and this is at a time when, you know, if you could just about buy one of the first x86 systems for about £3,000 or £4,000, and so it was an absolute no-brainer. But it was not a useful introduction to computing, certainly. But no, that's all excellent. Someone just said, "You're spoiled. I learnt on a manual typewriter," which Monty Python's Yorkshireman sketch made much use. What else have we got? Favourite football or soccer team? I'm more of a rugby player, I'm afraid. If I was forced to, Derby County, because I'm from Derbyshire originally, but that's about it. And yeah, although I have to say, football is what they play in the UK. What you play over here is not football. It's kind of kicky, runny, throwy type game. Football is when the foot hits the ball.
It used to be called kicky, runny, throwy.
It would be a lot more.
It just didn't sell.
Yeah, I can see that. It's best gadget ever had. Ooh, that's a toughie. Historically, the one I got the most joy out of, probably Palm 3X. It was when it still had batteries in, so you didn't have to carry the cradle around with you the whole time as you did with the 5. It was cheap. You could get a keyboard that you could put it in, and you had a miniature word processor. Yeah, Palm 3X, I think, historically would be the best. Although I've got to say, new smartphones really are fantastic if they could sort the battery life out for longer than a day.
And your favorite smartphone, someone asked earlier.
Favorite phone was the Nokia 7310, because you could get a week's worth of battery out of it. But that's not really a smartphone. I'm going to have to go with my current one, actually, which is the Nexus 5X, which is just about the right size for the hand. And because it's a Nexus, it means you get all the software updates and you don't have to rely on the manufacturer to do it. But yeah, if they could get Nexus 5X is probably my favorite at the moment. But if they could build a bigger battery into it, I would be very happy. The new Samsung looks excellent for battery life.
The 7?
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing people sort of posting 2.5, maybe even 3 days battery life, and that's just superb. I mean, it's the bane of the smartphone now. What do you use?
The Samsung 5. I haven't moved up to the 6 because I wanted to see what was next. Yeah. So maybe a 7.
Yeah, I'm checking on the cadence of it, of the whole thing. Yeah. That's, you know, it's quite handy. But yes.
But I like the idea of being able to get the update right away and not have Samsung or Verizon or someone put all their own garbage on it before you can.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of bloatware that gets put on phones these days is just, it's horrendous. So if you can get a clean build, alternatively, you just flash your own build onto it, but that's not for everyone, and you run the risk of balking the whole thing.
No,
it's, I see, okay. I wasn't whining about football, I'm just saying you're calling it the wrong name, but no, it's just... I don't know. We shall see.
We'll do one more, and then we'll let you go. Yep. And then, Ian, do you know Mad Magazine at all?
Yeah,
know what that is?
I used to subscribe to it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So I've been in every issue of Mad for 50 years. I hold the record there. So you get a free issue. I'll send you an autographed copy of Mad.
Marvelous. Thank you very much.
And we have these Alfred E. Newman pictures that have not been reprinted in 38 years, and you get one of those.
Wow. Okay.
So your trip was not...
If they told me that beforehand, I wouldn't be like, oh, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I know. But Leo always says, you'll get that, but you have to do the screensavers first. So, see, that's how they trick people like you into
it's
doing
the bait
screen.
And switch and draw you
It's
in.
the bait and switch, exactly.
Shocked I am at such devious tactics.
All right, so pick one more question, and Alex will give you my email.
Okay, let's see. Certain amount of abuse for Sinclair C5, which is purely justified because it was most... Ooh, that's a good one. The most ridiculous gadget or piece of tech I've ever reviewed.
Great.
That's a great question and a really tough one. Well, let's see. Okay. I didn't actually review it, but one of the most stupid ones I heard of was in the first internet bubble in the sort of about 99, 2000. A venture capitalist approached a friend of mine for some advice. And they come up with this idea of portable film readers for airports, and you plug them into a machine and it downloaded the film onto it for you. You watched it, and then while you're waiting for your plane, and then you plugged it back in and you paid a rental fee. It sounds like a good idea, but then you look at the hardware specs. They were using serial ports for a film. So you're looking at about 4 or 5 hours charge time, and that's your business model completely out the window. But in terms of stuff which has actually got in, there's... Well, let's see. There was the encrypted USB stick which burst into flames. We've had a couple of very strange websites in sort of 2000 where they were taking publicly available information, putting a user interface on it, and expecting people to pay about $10. But yeah, I've got to say, and yeah, in fact, I'll go with this, and I'm going to get hammered on it, I know. But it's not a specific product as it stands at the moment. It's a category of products, and that's smartwatches. Okay. Smartwatches, I cannot see the point of for life and a day, because you've got to have your phone within Bluetooth range for them to be able to do anything other than tell the time. You've got to recharge them every day because the battery life is lousy. And worst of all, they make you incredibly rude, because every time the thing vibrates, automatically your eyes look at it. Now, if you're in a conversation with someone and you're looking at your watch, that's really, really rude. And it's just, I don't get the whole smartwatch thing. Apple make the prettiest one, and they've got some good technology in there. I've yet to see an Android watch which I would wear. When I first got one of the first, I think it was the LG, their first smartwatch, my wife described it as the woman repeller, because it was this huge black block which stuck on your arm, and it was constantly dragging on your sleeves, and you just... So yeah, I mean, they're getting the Android smartwatches are getting better, but they're still... I'm worried it's a generational thing, and I just don't see the point, and the younger generation do. But smartwatches, I think, are definitely a problem looking for a market.
No problem. And now a word from our sponsor, Smartwatchers by Samsung.
That's it. I'm toast.
No. The wildest thing I ever saw at CES, I don't know how many years ago it was, it never came out. We knew instantly when they talked about it never come out, it might have been called I Smell. It was the size of a printer.
Oh, this is the thing that sat on your desk and then wafted odor at you.
It sat on the desk, it hooked to your TV, and instead of buying printer cartridges, you bought odor cartridges.
Oh, good grief.
And TV shows were supposed to be encrypted they would send codes to this printer, and the printer would mix the odors.
Oh, for goodness.
So that your room would smell like whatever you were seeing on TV.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It's kind of like we got a press release through. There's a new dating service based on smell, and they send you a T-shirt, and you wear it and sleep in it, and for 3 days straight, without using deodorant, and then you mail it back to them, and then they will mail you swatches of other people's shirts, which you then smell to try and decide if you want to date that person. It's the most stupid idea I've heard for a dating site in a long, long time.
No, you could just get on a crowded bus and do the same thing for free.
Well, I mean, it's not often that you used to go into a venue and it's like, ooh, yeah, she's nice,
yes,
right?
Yes. That's right. No, not you. No, the person behind you. Tap her shoulder. That's the one I'm smelling.
It's a very strange idea, but, it's... I do remember that smell module, and you're just like,
Yes.
oh, for goodness sake, you know.
Well,
But
Ian,
yes.
this has been super.
No, a lot of fun. I really
I
enjoyed
know
that.
you thought it was going to be a disaster.
Oh, well, it's just chat rooms. They can either go really well or they can go really badly, and you've got a really good one here. So it's.
Oh, well, you know, actually, the Twitch chat room, very friendly people, very original people. We play. I used to write a show called Match Game, which you're probably too young to remember. But the people in the chat room, when we play Match Game, they come up with very funny, off-the-wall answers. So it's a lot of fun to interact with them. And so, Ian, we are so glad that you were this week's chat room
I'm honoured, deeply honoured. Thank you very much
Celebrity
indeed.
of the week. And if you could give Alex will give you the email, and I'll get you a Mad and your own autographed Alfred E. Newman, 38-year-old.
Excellent. I shall look forward to that. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. This was super.
Excellent.
Okay,
Always fun. Excellent.
Okay, thanks so much.
Cheers.
Okay, so chat room, that was really super. And G. Scott, I'm sorry you got bumped. Anyway, if you are really, really unhappy, you can run out on camera and wave. Is he still in the studio, or did he leave in a huff?
He took off.
Did he take off?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He
I didn't realize I was G Scott until right before this show.
You didn't realize?
I didn't. I missed the part that guy was G Scott until right before Giz Fiz.
Okay.
Or else I would have said hi.
All right, so that was really great. That was really super. All right, so let's finish up Match Game with George Davis's questions. We're probably going to run till like 8:45. We'll just try and keep this to an hour or something. A Dumb Dora question from George Davis. Dumb Dora was offered a real sweet job in a traveling carnival. She blanks. Okay. Is G. Scott there for next week's show? Okay, that's good. Dumb Dora was offered a real sweet job in a traveling carnival. She blanks. Okay, all right. Chat room, some people got this and I didn't, but now that I see where George is going with this. Dumb Dora was offered a real sweet job in a traveling carnival. She blanks. She gazelles. Okay, Alex. Dumb Dora was offered a real sweet job in a traveling carnival. She blanks. Inhales candy. Oh, Kara is making an appearance. Kara says she drives. All right, the answer was, you see, George was playing off the word sweet. And Dumb Dora was offered a real sweet job in a traveling carnival. She makes cotton candy with George's answer. And a lot of cotton candy. Mine would be makes candied apples. But we did caramel apples. She makes donuts with her nose. Weaves cotton candy by hand. She sells gazelles by the seashore. Fairy floss, which is cotton candy, maybe in England. Radio Rod, I finally matched. Picks caramel apple, says Bill. She is the candy machine. Okay, question 3 from George Davis. Mark Gray, in 1950, always got excited when going downtown to the new department store because he could blank. Mark Gray in 1950 always got excited when going downtown to the new department store because he could blank. All right, I'm going to write an answer. Okay. And we have Kara in the brick house. Whenever Kara cannot find anything to do or anybody to talk to, then she plays match game. Okay, here we go. Mark Gray in 1950 always got excited when going downtown to the new department store because he could... Alex? Oh, ride the elevator. Kara? Steal. My answer was he could ride the escalator.
Oh, so would we match, or the elevator and
You know
escalator are
what?
different?
We will, because I'm the judge. But in the studio, they'd fight you on it. We got a lot of ride escalator. He could visit the hardware store, look at the decorated windows, buy a gray flannel suit. Oh, watch TV in the window. Very good. Touch the mannequins. X-ray his feet. These are very good. Get exercise in the revolving door. Watch TV in the TV section. Again, that's very good. Take the Otis escalator. The escalator is more badass than elevator. Let's see what George said. George... Mark Gray in 1950 always got excited when going downtown to the new department store because he could ride the new escalators for hours. So we'll call it a match, Alex. Question 4. X-ray his feet. KC thinks that's very funny. Does anybody remember? Is anybody old enough to remember? You could go to a shoe store, put on shoes, and have your feet x-rayed. I think that they were like so bad for you. I think shoe stores had to take them out shortly after they were put in. Big old illegal fluoroscopes. Is that what they were called, a fluoroscope? Hell no. Oh, my God, no. I think they banned those when I was a kid. Only the sizing thing. Okay. Who remembers the name of the sizing thing? All right, because we did a whole spot on this in the old GizWiz because it is an invention that has not changed since the day it was introduced, like in 1910. And it is being made. Oh, don't tell me someone beat Dr. Mom. It is, Eric Duckman has it, the Brannick device. And the Brannick family still owns the Brannick device, not the sizing thing. And they made it in plastic for a while. They made it in pink for girls. But basically, it's the same device. The shoe sizing thing, Brannick device, it is. All right. Question 4 of 5. There it is. Brannick, Brannoc. There you go. Thank you, Al. There it is. And it has not changed. Company's out of Syracuse. And quality made in the USA. That's it, the sizing thing. Everybody's looking at the video and going, oh, I know that thing. All right. 4 of 5. What new item do you want to try on your hamburger? Jimmy's mother asked. Jimmy replied, blank. What new item do you want to try on your hamburger? Jimmy's mother asked. Jimmy replied, back blank. Though they don't sell many graphic devices. Probably once the shoe store opens, they buy 2 of them. That's it. We have a heads up from Oak Carew. After GizFiz match game is on all night on Buzzer. The real match game. Let me write my answer here. I know there's going to be a million gazelles for this, but I'm not writing that. What new item do you want on your hamburger? Jimmy's mother asked, and Jimmy said blank. I doubt if I'm going to match anybody, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, Alex. What new item do you want on your hamburger? Jimmy's mother asked, and Jimmy replied, ham. Okay, and Kara? Chocolate. I answered, I was more in line with Alex. I want to try a Frankfurter on my hamburger. Cocaine, greasy, grimy gopher guts. Oh, my God. Gazelle sauce, chocolate syrup. We would match that, Kara. Guacamole, greasy pork chops, gazelle cheese, cooked meat, marshmallow, crushed Oreo cookies, chili. Well, actually, they do put chili on. Well, I guess they do it more on Frankfurters. Knox Harrington said, "Oh, Alex, the grill at Knox Harrington's college does make hamburgers with ham on it." Haggis. Gummy bears. All right. Haggis number 2. All right. Final question from George Davis. Clark Kent just changed into his Superman outfit, and he was to meet Johnny Olson at 5 p.m. when blank. Clark Kent had just changed into his Superman outfit. He was to meet Johnny Olson at 5 o'clock when blank. Okay, Clark Kent just changed his Superman outfit to meet Johnny Olson at 5 p.m. when blank. All right, Alex. When ham. Okay, couldn't think of anything. Kara. Clark Kent changed his Superman outfit. Meet Johnny Olson when Jimmy Olsen.
The question doesn't make sense. Let's see it.
It doesn't make sense.
He got locked out of his house. Okay.
Makes more sense than ham.
My answer was he realized the dry cleaner forgot the cape. Let me look. His cape got caught in the escalator. He got a call on his bat phone. A real phone. There was a real phone call in the phone booth. That's good. He had a case of the runs. His outfit was inside out. He had explosive diarrhea. Oh, my God. He pooped in his suit, spilled coffee all over his chest. His car broke down. Okay. All right, that was it. George Davis, thank you for your match game questions. Very good. And, Alex, can you find that video I sent you last week and the week before about Alfred E. Newman?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay, you do that, and I will do a couple of logo questions. Someone sent me a little video.
Before that.
Yeah. A little video about the history of Alfred E. Newman. All right, question about. Oh, wait a minute. I had a topical question. Okay, because it's Easter. Questions from the Bible. Name the longtime U.S. industrial giant whose name sounds like the birthplace of Jesus. This is kind of a stretch. Let's see if anybody gets it. the birthplace of a giant industrial steel. Oh, okay. Okay. Syracuse alum. Arm and Hammer. OPEC. Wow, the chat room does lag behind. Notice Lois had put on underwear this morning. Yes, it is Bethlehem Steel.
I got it.
Oh, you did, Ham. Bethlehem.
See, I'm reusing the.
Yeah, that's great, Alex. That is really a great recycling.
We spare no expense on this show.
No, I know that. We spare no expense because no one gets any money. Important biblical figure that shares his name with a brand of aspirin. Important biblical figure shares his name with a brand of aspirin. Holy Moses. Dump tablets. No, this show does not have an expense account. Alex says Bethlehem. St. Josephine, the devil. Jesus Tylenol.
Tylenol is not aspirin.
Why not?
It is not. It is St. Joseph. Satan aspirin. All right. A pact between God and his people is also an agency providing shelter to the homeless. This is one heavy-duty card from Logo. A pact between God and his people is also the name of an agency providing shelter to the homeless. The IRS, no. Tylenol is acetaminophen. Hell's Angels, no. Sanctuary City. Catholic Charities, no. Red Cross, no. FEMA. The MTA. Any idea, Alex?
No.
No. Any idea, Kara?
No.
All right.
Tylenol?
Tylenol.
The Friendly Dumpster Shelters. No. House Hunter International. Under the Bridge. It is indeed not Salvation Army. No. You guys were much more on target earlier on. It is Covenant House. Okay, final question. What snow sport and hiking brand sounds like a biblical king known for his wisdom? Wow. I wouldn't get this. What snow sport hiking brand sounds like a biblical king known for his wisdom? Who the hell knows, says Becky. Toastmaster. Hush Puppies. Yeah, Hush Puppies. Moses. REA. Steve Jobs. King Midas sold the mufflers. All right. Oh. God. Guys. North Face. Alex, any idea?
Nope.
Kara?
No.
No. Two more people aren't going to church tomorrow, but are going to hell. Okay.
Yeah, but we
it
already
is
knew
Solomon. Solomon. No, the MTA. You'll get a kick out of this. So the MTA just built a $2 billion train station right a half a block from the Jacob Javits Center, which is our convention center in New York City. And a lot of conventions, don't do well because it's on the Hudson River, and it's really very hard to get to. So they built this $2 billion transport hub, but it's problem plagued. The escalators are breaking down, and if it rains, it floods. And I'm going to the automobile show, and I think I better just make sure that the station is open before I head out. So leaving from, I type in my address, and it says destination, type in a street or a landmark. And I type in Jacob Javits Convention Center. And it says, sorry, we cannot locate that place. If only there was a place to say, you know, the building that is 1 avenue block wide and 4 street blocks long, and it's right outside your new $2 billion subway station. That's the place I want to go to. I couldn't believe it. They are beyond stupid. And the other thing is, 2 months ago, Dennis and I went to the boat show in January, and we came out, and the station is all boarded up. So we walk blocks and take a bus. And then I come out from the Javits Center after finally typing in, I want to go to 11th Avenue and something, and the MTA saying, get off at the new subway stop. So I go, and the subway stop is closed, still closed. And I go, they told me this morning it was open. And I'm looking all around, and a block and a half down, I see another big white entrance, and I walk down there, and that entrance is open. But do you think it would dawn on them to say, if this entrance is closed, this station is so long, there's another entrance a block and a half away? So in January, when Dennis and I thought it was closed, it was probably open a block and a half away. Yeah, it's a huge station. It has like 6 or 7 escalators. They are building something there that's going to be called Hudson Yards. And it's going to be an incredible housing business development area. And so in anticipation of that, they built this enormous station. It's not, Ring Obling said, well, it's not a train. It's not a station. It's a train wash. I think that too. And it's open 24 hours, not just in a row. Yeah, Trump Station. All right. So, do we have that video?
Yes.
Okay. So people always ask me, where did Alfred E. Newman come from? Here is a video. Where did Alfred E. Newman, Mad Magazine's mascot, come from? And this answers that question, hopefully.
I assume the music is unrelated.
Unrelated. Wow. Now, I didn't know that there was a show with a guy like that. I knew about ads, early ads. I know early ads from the 1800s had an Alfred-like look.
I like my music better.
Okay. 1901. This is what I thought was Alfred's first appearance, was the painless dentist ad. So obviously a lot of people, mainly dentists, were using. Also, isn't it a strange ad for a dentist to have a kid with a tooth missing? It didn't hurt a bit. He just pulled my tooth out and sent me out with a big hole in my. There he is. That's more traditional Alfred there. Me worry. Oh, look at that. Know what? I'm for the New Deal. I'm a simp. It was more like a monkey. What me worry? Wow. Oh, that's getting into. Oh, there we go. Oh, the first use is 56 for mad. Is that the end of that?
Not yet.
Yeah, I guess
Yep.
it is. Okay, and that that last picture was Norman Mingo's version of Alfred E. Newman, which became the definitive Alfred that we use everywhere. And I think I might have told the story is that for years we had all original artwork on the walls at MAD, including the original of that Alfred picture. And that's when someone at MAD discovered everything on the walls was the original art. Okay? And they go, well, why don't we sell the original art and just put up reproductions? So they took all the original art away and made high definition copies of them, but sold the original art. And that original picture of Alfred went for a lot of money. I think it was more than $100,000 for a person to hold the original MAD picture. And also, there's a very funny story about at Time Warner, MAD is kind of like the crazy kids on the block or the screwballs, so they took all the original art away, and for months they put nothing in its place. And you walk down the hall, and there are all these clips of the paintings on the wall. And one day, one of the guys was walking down the hall, and he took some rubber bands and some paper clips and a pair of scissors, and he just hung some stuff on the clips. And then someone else said, oh, that's a great idea. And so everybody started hanging weird stuff on the clips that the artwork was on. And then John Ficarra, the publisher of MAD, said, no one's decorated the conference room. I'm sure you have a ton of crappy gadgets and their little things. Why don't you go in and just hang a bunch of crap in the conference room? Which I did. And then one day I was talking to someone from one of the other floors. We used to share the other floors with other Time Warner DC Comics and Time Warner magazines. And someone said to me, oh, there's a rumor in the building that you guys totally trashed the MAD floor. And I said, what? They said, oh, yeah. They said that you, hung crap on the walls and that it's terrible. I said, we thought it was creative. But obviously, we were the only ones that thought that was that funny. But I think it speeded up the process as they bring the original artwork back so they can make us take all that stuff down. Okay, we'll do 2 real match game questions, and we're going to end at 8:45. Oh, Dennis, you want to get the Charlie Bear ready? All right. Oh, I don't have to. Oh, my gosh, Charlie. Charlie, do you want to pick him up? Wow, ladies and gentlemen, it is Charlie the dog. Charlie the doggy. Hi, Charlie. Da, 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 da. Charlie the doggy. Bump, bump, bump. Charlie doggy. Bump, bump, bump. Bump. Charlie, you want a chicken stick? A chicken stick? Oh, boy, Charlie. Okay, one more camera look, Charlie. Look at the camera. Okay. Next time I'll put Charlie close up to the camera because Charlie still doesn't understand mirrors. And when that renovation, as you know, they had to replace the floor in my bedroom. I took a big mirror out of the bedroom, put it on the floor. And boy, for 2 days, Charlie hated the dog in that mirror. He would walk by, I hate you. And now he's gotten to the point where he walks up to it and he stares, he steps back a couple steps and looks again. And he doesn't know who it is, but he doesn't hate him anymore. Not looking at the camera is the result of a lot of training. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was the first thing we taught Charlie. Is Charlie, be nonchalant on camera. Don't hog the camera. Be a professional. And he is. All right. The policeman caught crazy Carl sticking his blank in a soda machine. The policeman caught crazy Carl sticking his blank into a soda machine. Oh, his gazelle. The policeman caught crazy crazy Carl sticking his blank into a soda machine. Oh, his head to chill. His baton. Okay. Donut tongue, nether regions. Oh, umbrella's good answer. Oh, sticking his can. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we get a lot of smirks on Match Game. His Slim Jim. His Butterfinger. His Richard Dawson. All right, Alex. The policeman caught crazy Carl sticking his blank into a soda machine. His hand. Kara. Oh, his soda into a soda machine. Okay. Pencil, bottle opener. My answer was fist. I don't think anybody said fist. Mara, how do I enter an apostrophe? Badge. His Mad Magazine money. Okay. One more, then I'll take a couple questions. I don't know if we did this, but it doesn't matter because the answers will probably change. She was only 10 years old, but Hollywood star Shirley Dimple already had her first blank. Web we weave, match Kara. She was only 10 years old, but Hollywood star Shirley Dimple already had her first blank. Her first case of acne. Oh, her first divorce. That's really good. Her first agent. Oh, these are good. Shirley Dimple already had her first. All right, I got my answer. Her first scalp. Oh, handprints on Hollywood Boulevard. Her first spelling mistake. Her first Emmy, temper tantrum, marriage proposal. Okay, Alex, she was only 10 years old, but Hollywood star Shirley Dimple already had her first nose job. That's a very good answer. Midlife crisis. Those are both very funny answers. Drunk driving accident is excellent. Trump Twitter comment. Accusation of copying Shirley Temple. That is very funny. Social Security check. Facelift. Well, we'll give you a facelift to match with Alex. GizFiz, we didn't do any logo. Oh, Becky. Yes, we did logo. We did logo the Bible. Becky, I don't know. It seems like your mind is wandering. We did the Bible. All right, any questions from the chat room before we end this? Carrie, yes.
Oh, sorry. No, that was a mistake.
Oh, okay. Good one, Kara. I saw her wander over to the GizFiz chat earlier, in fact. Our chat room, no questions? Do you know where the original art from Mad is now? It's all over the world. They raised several $1 million. You know who bought a lot of original Mad art? Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. They bought most of the covers that satirized their movies. No Hamantashen. So they put in permanent high bids for the Star Wars covers, Steven Spielberg wanted the original. Oh, God Almighty! What is the guy with the hat? All the movies that Lucas made. I called it. It was the real movie was Raiders of the Lost Ark. And the satire, I think it was a funny title for the satire. Raiders of a Lost Art. In Banana Jones, I think he was. What is the meaning of life, the universe, and everything? It is a scam. That's my answer for you. CK8. Indiana Jones, thank you. In Banana Jones, yep. Or maybe was it in Bandana Jones? I don't know. When you write 50 years of mad material, yes, with their billion, Spielberg and Lucas could buy mad. All right, chat room. We're going to end now. And let me just I don't have closing music, but you do. So this is the end of this issue, this version of Match Game. Giz Fiz PM. Match Game PM is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman, Alex Gumpel, Kara Cole, Dick DeBartolo, Dennis Wonderland, Charlie the Dog, Oznet, Dr. Mom, Tavis MC, Strengths, Cerebral, Nancy, Nolan, and Momsworth Web We Weave Regatta Meat Production. Everybody gets turtle wax now for candy apples. Wax your apple, see your face in it. Till next week, this is Johnny Olson speaking. Bye. Thanks, Alex.
See you next week.
Thanks, chat room.